about your team taking on the Warriors. Talk to me about it.
Yeah, we got Tom Gilbert. I don't think that is correct in the fullback role, so I'm just going to quickly
Tom Chester.
go and check.
Tom Chester.
Wow. Okay, that's another stuff up by our man Tony here.
You know. At least when I put it on the screen, it's a typing error. You read a name completely wrong before 3 times in a row, so I don't think we're going to talk about who's getting stuff wrong.
Yeah, as I say, English isn't my first language. Come on, give myself a break. Okay, you got Tom Chester in the fullback role. We got Kyle Felt and Murray Talangai in the wing position with Valentine Holmes and Garrett. Wow, GS in the center roles. Wow, that is I think he's got some Polish background in there. Anyways, you've got Tom Dearden and Chad Townsend in the halves pairing with Jordan McLean and Ruben Cotter in the forward pack with Reece Robson to be the hooker. Colin Hess and Jeremiah Nanai in the second row with Jason Taumalolo in the lock position with Jake Granville, Griffin Namey and JTB with James Talmo to make the bench and Hilam Lukey. Now, I got a little tip from another Cowboys supporter, one that you know too well, Tony, in Jared McGivern. And he says that in 2015, the Cows lost to the Broncos at Suncorp to make the 0-3 start, and we came back and win it. So never write off the Cowboys is his little personal message. So shout out to him. And
you're not 0-3, so that's completely irrelevant.
That's fine. That's all I'm saying, man. We can come back from his, and he says
one game. What do you mean come back from here? You're 1-1. What are you talking about?
We can come back from this. Look, we should have won last week. We stuffed up with a lot of errors, with especially the big one with Scotty Drinkwater. But as he says, he's interesting tip, if he's activated, is Hilam Lukey on the 18 number jersey on the bench there. So if he makes his way onto the park, watch out. That's his hot tip of the week. And unchanged, not unchanged in 2 areas. But apart from that, we should be ready to rock and roll into the Warriors at home. I think it's a 5:30 kickoff Saturday afternoon, Super Saturday. So this will be good. I don't know about the humidity and whatnot, so I'm going to give it over to you to name the Warriors side. I'm going to check the weather out for this one.
Well, I will say I'll jump in quite quickly before I do jump into that Warriors side. That GS, he's actually Japanese, so he's an Australian-Japanese player. So I'm not sure from whereabouts in Japan that does.
It looks Polish, mate. It looks Polish. That SAKI ending, mate, that's Polish to me.
Well, he was born in Townsville, Queensland, but he's a Torres Strait Islander, Japanese and Palau descent. So he's got a bit of everything in him. Maybe there's a little bit of Polish back down the line, but it is a good lineup, like you said. I don't believe Lukey will come in, given I don't see too many changes to this lineup, especially if there was no suspension. I think we'd be looking at an unchanged lineup going into this week. So I think it's a great lineup. I do think they get the job done. But before we give our predictions, let's jump into the next side, which is the New Zealand Warriors. You've got TT in the back line, Edward Cossey, Braden Williams, Adam Pompey, Marcelo Montoya, Tamari Martin, Sean Johnson, Fanua Blake, Wade Egan, Bunty Afoa, Mitchell Barnett, Marata Nikore, Tohu Harris, Dylan Walker, Josh Curran, Bailey Sirenen, Tom Alley, and Vilame Valai. Now, for the Warriors, they were resilient against the Roosters. They defended brilliantly. Now, they are having that absence from this game of obviously Charles due to concussion. So, obviously, that TT in that back line, he is making his debut. So, massive congratulations to him. Another massive out, Jackson Fall. We saw how big he was in round 1. Obviously, he got knocked out in round 2 quite early, and that's kind of where their struggles started to kind of creep in. So it is a great squad. They can defend on their line, but I just think they've got too many players in. My only thought process around this is, and it hurts me to say it after being named for his debut, I think TT could drop out. Tamari Martin could go to fullback, and you might see Freddie Lussick, who is playing New South Wales Cup for them, go into that number 6. Now, a crazy stat before I get your prediction, Freddie Lussick, I think they're 2 games into the New South Wales competition. He has 5 try assists and 6 line break assists. So the guy's on an absolute tear, and I think if you're going to use him, this is the game to use him. But what are your thoughts on this Warriors side? Not just this game, but as a whole so far, and then give me a prediction for this game. But I am going to lock in a Cowboys 1-12.
Yeah, look, as you've been talking, I did a little bit of research. If you're not up into the Australian basketball at the moment, the New Zealand Breakers are over the Sydney Kings, 56-54, with 48 seconds left to go in the third quarter. But it's going to be about at the time of kickoff, you're going to look at seeing about 35 kilometres hour winds easterly. It's going to be about 30 degrees, but the humidity is around the 68% mark. So hot and heavy for the Cowboys. And like with your Roosters, it's hard to tip them against them, and I'll always tip with them. I'm going to go 1-12 as well.
Yeah, now obviously, like you said, it is humid, it is hot, but I think, and this is going to sound crazy, I think what's going to help the Warriors here is, I think that was quite similar to what Sydney had when they did play. They did have that 20-minute break where they had water breaks. They had the extended halftime break as well. So I think this could almost benefit the Warriors having now played in these kind of temperatures 2 weeks in a row. So we'll see what happens, but we're both in agreement. The Cowboys get the job done, whether it's a blowout, whether it's close. We're both going with a 1-12, but let us know what you think in the comments. But Baxter,